Molly, just write it, please. Huh? Good morning. Appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us for the resident meeting this month. We're gonna kind of let Demir start it off. Antonio couldn't join us. He had to cover for someone downstairs that's out today. So he's got his hands full, but Demir will start it off and we'll go through the group and I'll wrap it up at the end, okay? Thanks.
Good morning, dear residents. How are you today? So I'm Damir Dibra. I'm assuming you all know me already. I'll give you a few updates from down there. Like Norm said, Tony is a little busy, so I'm just gonna cover a few things that he mentioned to tell you. So the month of May, we will have a few brunches that will be on the Mother's Day. So the hours gonna be brunch hours, breakfast 7:30 to 9, and then 11 to 3 for the brunch. Same thing for Memorial Day, which is on the end of the month. Cinco de Mayo, we will have a special menu that night for dinner. The menu will be coming tomorrow, and you'll see what we have there. He's working on it right now. On front of the house part, I'll just give you a few updates. You probably see a lot of new faces there, a lot of energy going on, a lot of training in progress. Thank you all for your patience and understanding the helping accommodate those new servers down there. I will mention all of them here. So we do have a Victor, Sam, Farhana, Laila, George, Ryan, Suprema, and Robert. 8 servers, new servers. So we are kind of getting out of the dip that we have with the staffing. We're not there yet, but we are getting close. Hopefully, I don't want to jinx anything. And thank you again for your patience down there. Do you guys have any questions for me? Yes, Ms. Lynn, how you doing?
More comments than
Uh-huh.
questions.
Sure.
I am tired, and I've mentioned this a million times to whoever's, they need to pay attention to what they're doing when it comes to cleaning off the tables. The dirt that was on the table 3 days ago is still there. The dirt the crumbs and spills that are on the bench are still there. They have to clean everything. I'm tired of dirty placemats that still have food left from a week ago. They have to start
So the
paying.
comment was, the link had a comment about cleanliness, and that's, I believe it's 60s, right?
Lack of.
About cleanliness, I will definitely address it again. We do meet every day, we do talk about these things every day, so I don't know why. I mean, I've been monitoring that tables. I'm surprised that that table is there because nobody really sits there until you come in. But I will keep an eye on it for
I sit
sure.
at other tables like
I
at
will
breakfast time,
keep an
and
eye
it's the
for
same
sure.
thing.
I will double check. Any other questions, concerns? Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you downstairs tonight.
What can you do? Good, so. Doing the best you can.
Hi, I'm Christina Eldro, the Director of Hospitality and Resident Services. Yesterday, we held our COVID vaccine clinic here in the showroom. We had approximately 175 individuals vaccinated, so that was a really good turnout. I thank you all. Today, we're gonna have part 2 of the School of Lifelong Learning, Fire and EMS Safety, the part 2 of the apartment safety. So that's today here in the showroom at 1 o'clock. May, coming up for the School of Lifelong Learning, is Personal Health Month. So we have a dermatologist, a foot doctor, the nurse from concierge, and a psychologist that will be giving presentations. And those memos will be coming out telling you the dates and times for all of that. But all of those will be held here in the showroom. I do want to go back to today's presentation. It will be recorded and shown, but it will not be today. It will start tomorrow. Molly will show it. So if you are unable to make it today, you can see it tomorrow on the Breakers channel. The last thing that I have is the lockers. We've begun retagging the lockers, so you may see that white slip of paper that you wrote your name and apartment number on, removed and a tag attached with your name, apartment, and phone number on there. We're going through the process of making sure that that vacant lockers are secured so that no one can acquire a second or third or more lockers on their own. So if you are not in the possession of a locker and you need a locker to be assigned to you, contact George and he will assure that a locker is assigned to you. Each resident should have one locker assigned on your floor if possible. There's a couple floors that don't have adequate numbers.
Never mind. Just go on, I'm gonna.
Okay, I'll go on.
Struggle my way up.
So we are in the process of doing that, to making sure that everyone can have a locker on their floor or the most advantageous floor. If there's any questions,
Who's George?
George is the move-in, move-out coordinator.
Yesterday on getting the shots, I went down later at noon. My neighbor went down early and she had to wait over an hour. So my question is this. I'm sure that the move out that was scheduled a couple of weeks, prior. The same with you. Could this somehow been adjusted so that we did not have the two of them together? Because of course, we also had the repaired out, and at the point that I was coming through, the ambulance came. So I think at one point we had one elevator. So in the future, for any of these, can somehow something get moved so that they're not conflicting?
So the question is can we make large scale or all community events scheduled so that they're not conflicting with other things that are happening in the community, a move out or what have you? We do our best to do that. In terms of the COVID clinic, we have to coordinate with the doctor or the clinic that was coming. And both of those things were scheduled before the elevator went down, the move out and the clinic. So we were anticipating that the elevator would have been up and it should not have been an issue. I just wanna say we do have those large scales events and they say come anytime between 9 and 1, come anytime. You don't have to be the first, but you can, later in the day is usually better because those people come so early that we had people straggling in at the end. So don't feel like you have to be first. We're here all the way till 1 o'clock, so you can, adjust your time accordingly.
Couldn't the floors have been staggered so that there weren't so many people down there at one time?
She asked, can the floors be staggered?
And then the elevators were just awful.
Yeah, so normally we do schedule a staggering of the floors for the clinics, but because it was half the population, if it would have been the whole, like a flu clinic, where the entire population of the complex comes, I do schedule so that each floor at a time, because it was about the half.
Well, still, with only 2 elevators working, that
Yep.
wasn't enough.
We're gonna watch and monitor that in the future, so that won't be an issue.
Yeah, there was some conflict with the time concerning the bus because it said 3 o'clock. Are you gonna accommodate those people that
Yes,
were thinking 3 o'clock?
yes, so I'm in contact with the doctor to have him come back next week. There were about 10 individuals that had originally RSVP'd that did not get a vaccine. They actually, at the end, ran out because we had some that didn't RSVP. So they will come next week, or I don't know if it'll be Monday or Tuesday or later in the week, but they will be here next week to accommodate those 10 individuals.
Mr. Mohammed, would you like to be on that list to make sure we check?
I think I am on the list.
Yes, yes.
I think I'm on the list, but I didn't, she said something about coming to the apartment rather than coming downstairs.
Yeah, we'll be cause it's 10, I think it's like 10 people, 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gonna come to the apartment rather than come down?
Yep, and you'll get information about that ahead of time.
Thank you.
Christina, couldn't we have move-in days on weekends rather than during the week?
We're monitoring how we're going to schedule those. We've been in contact or talks between move in, move out and other programs to make sure that we do those accordingly.
Yeah, that's terrible having during the week.
Absolutely, we are watching how we schedule things, absolutely. All right, thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
How are you?
Doing good, thank you. I'll move in pretty quick and then we'll take minimal amount of questions because we have a full staff here that needs to address the community also. One thing I want to bring up is the AC changeover. We're anticipating and hoping it happens May 15th. Again, the changeover for heating to cooling anticipation is May 15th. At that time, we'll be doing filter changes and going into apartments. We have an inspection coming up. So while we're in your apartment, we're gonna be looking at changing your filters. We also have plans to, and we've started this when we do work orders, is rubber door stoppers on your front door. So that's something we'll be changing out. We're also gonna be taking a look at your smoke detectors. If they're a certain age, we plan on changing them out. That depends on if we can get enough ordered in time, okay? That's pretty much all I have for anything going on in May. So those little things are gonna be, it's gonna be a monumental task to achieve. So be patient with us and thank you for being patient up to this point.
Good luck.
Thank you. We all need it. Any questions? Yes.
Have you, located the drawings of the building
We-
and, gotten them open?
We have multiple drawings, a lot of architectural drawings, yes.
Can I come and see them sometime?
You know, I can bring some up, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd like to see them.
all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been here almost 9 years now, and I've had my vents cleaned and all that. They do the living room, but I've got the vent in the bedroom also, and that has never been cleaned.
Okay, so that's
they-
that's something that we could address when housekeeping is in there, or if we have a work order placed for that.
I can't even get housekeeping in there half the time.
Well, you know, that's something that we have to address. The best thing to do so she's asking for vent cleaning. If we start having issues in your apartment, let us know, not just in the hallways, not just in meetings, but let's get a work order in. That gives us an opportunity to check when the work order was placed and when it was completed. It also sets a trend for us. If we start noticing that a lot of residents are putting in work orders for certain things, then we can really concentrate at what's going on, not at an individual basis, but as a community-wide basis. Go ahead. Yes.
Regarding that, I had put in a work order several months ago for the vents because they were really dusty. They came in and they kind of, vacuumed it a bit, but they didn't replace the filters, and it looks like that's what I need. I have 2 of them. So can I put in a work order to replace the filters? Or is this something that might get done May 15th?
We're anticipating changing filters out next month in May. So she's asking for her filter changes. Can you guys hear me back there? No, yes, no? Okay, so the question is about filter changes, whether to place a work order or not. Right now, I suggest that you do not place a work order for your filters to be changed because that's something on our list to happen in May. Anybody else? Couple more questions and
What is the situation with the hot water? Has that been resolved?
Yes. Yes.
we have spent a lot of time going through the system. A lot of time. Not only just maintenance staff, but expert plumbers. We have come to the conclusion that if you're waiting a certain amount of time, that's what it is. So yes, at this point, we've taken a look at it and the issues have been resolved. Now, that doesn't mean that some units will have issues within it, individual units, but we have to address those as they come up. But overall, the whole building is being provided with hot water and that issue has been resolved. Last question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to know, will there be a list for those people who want to be home when the filters are gonna be changed in their apartment?
It will be communicated well in advance. The question was if we're gonna let people know when we're coming in to do the filters. So yes, we'll let everybody know ahead of time. All right? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Michelle Belling, the housekeeping manager. Not too much going on. We just wrapped up with some pest management stuff, and I just wanted to mention with the weather changing, there's a lot of ants and little creatures. Okay, so I just want to let you know, with the weather changing and everything, pest management is out here quite a bit. We have ants and other little things that like to try and come in. So if you guys notice anything, please let me know immediately so we can take a look. And we also have our window washing coming up in the month of May, and as soon as I have a date, we'll get a memo out to let everyone know. That's all I have going on for this month. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a couple questions. First of all, can you tell me how many residents are quarantined with bed bugs?
We don't give out that information, but there's not that many, and we have a very, very low percentile.
And also, can you tell me what exactly when they're quarantined, what happens? What can they do or what can't they do?
If somebody is quarantined in their apartment, they are asked to stay in their apartment. They are able to leave the building of the breakers. We just ask them not to be in any of the common areas, the dining rooms, any activities, or the bus.
If they can leave the building, that means they have to take the elevator, right? So.
Correct, but they are asked to be in clean, laundered clothing. There's some things that come up as far as, people have doctor's appointments, so forth, that they need to be able to get to. And we cannot tell somebody that they have to only remain in their apartment, that they cannot go out into the public. Any other questions?
Michelle,
All the way in the back, yes.
thanks. I guess these are questions for you or perhaps Roger. When something needs to be done in our apartments, in the past, signs were placed on the outside of the door that maintenance or housekeeping had been in the apartment and the work was done, or couldn't do it because you weren't in the apartment. Are you gonna go back to using those signs?
We do have those signs, and I know the housekeepers do use them once in a while, so that's something that I will talk to Roger about and see if we will be doing that all the time.
The other thing I didn't get a chance to ask Roger, and it came up at the Residents Association meeting last night. At least 2 of the residents in the garages have waterfalls on their cars, and it's coming from the deck being leaky. Are there any plans to fix the deck? And would your suggestion to the residents be just simply move your car so you don't get pieces of like the ceiling falling on it?
That's something that we can discuss that we weren't aware of until you just mentioned it, so we can inform you later.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the other thing is, when laundry machines are out, I think there's supposed to be signs placed on them saying, machine out of order, service has been called. I guess that hasn't been happening. Could that please be reinstituted?
I was actually up on the laundry room on the 31st floor yesterday, and there was a sign on the one washing machine that it is out of order. So we do try to do that. I mean, if we know that it's out of order and maintenance is called, we will place a notice on it.
And just so residents know, like I've been here, this is my 17th year, and when I was first here, maintenance actually had 7 staff people, and I guess there's only 4. So 4 people now are doing just as best job as they can to follow up on everything. But I'm wondering if there's any thought being given to increasing maintenance staff. I know housekeeping is down 3 housekeepers, so your staff is working awfully hard, and the building is not looking as clean as it used to look. And I know everybody's doing their best job, but it's a question of people being messy. They're messier people, I think, now in the building than they used to be. Now people don't clean up after themselves, and then you just don't have the staff to do the job, but you're trying really hard. So, comments?
The only thing that I can really say to that is, when it comes to the building as a whole, you know, we're all a team, we're all a community, the residents, the staff, everybody. I mean, if we see something, we pick it up, we all pitch in. And I think we're, like you said, we're all doing our best, and that's what we are gonna keep continuing to do. Go ahead.
I'd like to give a round of applause to all of you who are working so hard for us.
Thank you very much. We all appreciate that more than you know. Anything else? Go ahead.
Michelle, you have some resident, only few, who keeps their scooter or the rollator outside of the apartment close to the door. So keep them in the apartment. And second, you do also have some apartment who has the placemat. You know, the little carpet outside of the door that we used to keep, that's against the fire department too. Perhaps you can check on that behind the doors and give us stuff.
Yes, you are correct. That is not allowed, and I will look into that.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry I didn't come on time, seems to be my usual thing. But, did somebody commented at the Residents Association meeting last night that there were residents leaving ambulatory devices outside in the hallways? And I know that's not allowed, so maybe another sign could go up, please don't leave your scooters or walkers or whatever out in the hallway, they belong in our apartments. I don't particularly like my scooter in my living room, but that's where it's gotta be.
Right, that's something that I really haven't noticed. If we do notice that, we will address it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. One more question, and then I have to have somebody else come up here.
What is the ruling? There's some people that keep their door open in their apartment,
I mean,
24/7.
I'm not quite sure on that, but I can look into that for you. All right, thank you very much. Everybody have a good day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen, the Director of Sales and Marketing here at the Breakers. I was a couple minutes late coming up because I was talking to a lovely lady and her daughter, who Eric is showing around the building right now. And she made the comment that she had even in her short time visit here this morning, so many nice interactions with the residents who she felt made some spontaneous endorsements. So thank you for doing that, making this lady feel comfortable during her visit here today. Let's hope she moves in. She seemed like a terrific gal. We do have 6 new residents arriving this month in April, after, I believe, 9 apartments that were rented in March. So we're getting lots and lots of calls. I was just saying this morning that we already have 9 tours scheduled for this week, in fact. So that's a lot. I think people want to move for summertime and enjoy this beautiful location in the park. So that is my report. Hey, hi Peg.
Yeah, how many residents does this building hold?
Well, number of people, of course. You mean apartments? Because number of people, of course, we can have 2 people in apartments and things like that.
I guess, how many apartments?
Yes, so we have over 450, a little over 450 apartments.
Are we over that limit now?
No. You know, during the past couple of years, during COVID, of course, people we didn't have as many move-ins as we normally do in years prior. But it looks like we're getting right back up to that rate as we speak.
Terrible hardship on the elevators with so many people there.
Yes. Okay, that's my report. I want one more push for my resident referrals. We are happily paying out some, or I guess crediting some rent these days, because we've had a few of you refer friends and acquaintances, former co-workers, relatives of your kids' co-workers. So anytime you think of anybody who might like to learn something about the Breakers and might move in, let me know and I'll associate them with you. And when they do move in, you will get a $1,000 rent credit. Okay, thank you.
Something on me. Come here a second. I saw you messing with your glasses.
Oh.
Those do,
Thank
those
you.
do a
I
good
know,
job.
thank you, thank you.
Oh, I haven't said anything. Hello, everyone. My name is Molly Nordenberg. I'm the Director of Resident Programming. There we go. Thank you. I said something now. So, a variety of updates for the month of May, just getting started. So we have two wonderful residents in the building, Emily Bird and Ronna Jacobs, that are helping anyone and everyone, whoever would like it, with voter registration. If you have moved from one apartment to another apartment in the building, if you have just moved into the building, if you want to learn how to vote by mail instead of going down to vote downstairs, they will help you every Tuesday from 11:30 to 1 in the suburbs. So if you or any of your other friends here, you know somebody that just moved in, need assistance, they are there to do that. Shantae is going to be starting walking club again in May. So May 1st, starting walking clubs on Sundays at 10 a.m., weather permitting. Going over to events, as Demir had mentioned, we are having a nice Cinco de Mayo dinner on Thursday, May 5th, accompanied with some margaritas and pina coladas. So we'll have a little happy hour downstairs on the first floor to go with that. On Monday, May 9th, we have Greg Whalen, which if you remember him is a wonderful magician. He used to perform magic for his parents when they were in a senior community, and now he performs it for communities all over Chicago. So he'll be here Monday, May 9th. On Tuesday, May 17th, we have the Coyote Talent Show, which a couple of our residents, also mainly Marnie Titterton, have been working very hard putting together this variety show with residents and staff alike. So mark your calendars for that. And then on Memorial Day at the end of the month, we will be having a wonderful Memorial Day service with our veterans out on the 3rd floor deck doing a flag raising and then heading to the barbecue after. Some of the trips we have coming up, Thursday, May 5th, which is next Thursday, Shantae, Sterling, and Jim, so Shantae with 2 buses and 2 bus drivers, will be taking you all to the CSO open rehearsal. This is their first one in over 2 years. The sign up is downstairs now. It is free to go. We have our tickets. We have 32 seats, so if you're interested, go sign up downstairs. Just a reminder with that day, since we are going on a special trip on a Thursday, we will be having our Thursday medical trips and grocery trips on Wednesday, and then that special trip for Wednesday will be that CSO one on Thursday. On Wednesday, May 11th, we are going to the Ukrainian village for lunch and then a little tour of a church in Ukrainian village. On Wednesday, May 18th, to the DuSable Museum, and on the 25th to the Lincoln Park Zoo and out for lunch. So, a lot of great things coming up in May. The one little asterisk I'll say is, again, I say this every month, please sign up for your bus trips, whether it's grocery shopping, a medical run, or going to trips with Shantae. Especially just if you're running a little bit behind, it's really helpful for Sterling to know how many people are coming, to know if people are coming with walkers so he can load everybody up properly. So please, 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 if you're going to Target or anywhere, sign up in the mailroom to go on that trip. Lynn.
Yeah, at the beginning, you mentioned the election and signing up for all that stuff, and you also mentioned voting downstairs. The last election, we didn't do downstairs. We had to either mail in or we had to go to wherever.
We will be having it here this year.
Good.
Voting will be taking place here. There are just some people that still prefer to vote by mail versus going downstairs to vote, so.
That's fine. I
Yes.
just
Yep.
didn't like going
Can
somewhere
confirm.
else.
Okay, any other questions? Helen?
else going on this month?
Yes, this month, I apologize, this Friday and Saturday, Helen and her wonderful team, the Breakers Play Group, they have been working very hard to put together 2 short plays that'll be showing this Friday at 7 and repeating again on Saturday at 7. So come one night,
It's the same plays both nights, but they have been working very, very hard. So please come this Friday and Saturday. I will also be recording it, but better to see it live, I think. Yes, Joe?
Aside from what you mentioned, are there gonna be any entertainment scheduled for May?
Oh yes, we have a lot of entertainment too. I'm trying to get a little bit more variety of entertainers. It's been tough to find people that are still having a reasonable rate, I'll say. A lot of people have kind of doubled their rates during the pandemic, trying to make up for lost revenue. So I am still going through and trying to find some new vendors, but we will be having concerts and various performers coming through. We will be having a couple concerts on the weekend on Saturday nights. So I will say yes, when the monthly newsletter arrives on the 1st, you can go through and look at all of that also. Miliana.
I don't know who is responsible, but I'd like to thank them for the monthly birthday luncheon.
Oh,
It's lovely.
Miliana.
Lovely.
Miliana said that she has been enjoying the monthly birthday luncheon, and I hope now that we have gone a full year of monthly birthday luncheons, I hope you all have been enjoying those. It's been wonderful to have you all together for those. Elise.
You have many wonderful performers coming in live, and since COVID is on the wane, we're getting more. And I just want to comment, I think many others, so much enjoy Jim Kendros and Paul McComas. Thank you for keeping them coming. Besides simply enjoying, they both engage my intellect, which is so great. And it's so wonderful to hear live music and to hear challenging questions posed. So thanks for keeping Paul and Jim here.
Thank you. Elise had mentioned that she's been enjoying Jim Kendros, who does classical music appreciation and concerts, and Paul McComas. He does educational and entertainment performances, and he is actually starting a new group, which will be it'll meet for the first time this Friday at 1 o'clock about Shakespeare. So if any of you are Shakespeare fans, I'll have some signs up in the elevator for Friday, but that'll be here in the showroom at 1 o'clock. Duana.
Just to mention on all these special things, there's been quite a few times when the weekly and the monthly comes out, they'll have one time, but then it's actually a slightly different time, which does cause confusion. Sometimes your elevator things have the right time, but if you don't notice, that's a thing that you should probably have somebody checking those. I think the weekly and the monthly is set up on a fixed standard, and you go through there and just change names. You're going to have to watch the times too and get the information of the correct times.
So Duana had mentioned that when looking at the monthly calendar versus the weekly calendar, sometimes there is a difference in times for different programs, and I will say that our monthly calendar, we have to turn it in on the 12th of the month before. So on the 12th of April, I had to turn in the whole calendar for May. And so sometimes things do get changed and get updated and just swapped around a little bit. So I will say to always keep an eye on the Buzz. The Buzz is the most up-to-date information if a performer had to edit their time or things get changed. If Shantae is planning a trip and the museum wants us to come a little bit later because they have a big school coming in the morning, the Buzz is the most up-to-date information. So it won't always match up just perfectly, and I'm sorry for that, but just keep an eye on the Buzz. I'll be most up-to-date. And the calendars in the elevator, our wonderful front desk staff, they take the Buzz and make those calendars on the weekend for everybody. So it should match the Buzz from that. Any other questions? Joe?
Yeah, it's once again back into the entertainment. At this point, are you considering or have you scheduled either or both, preferably, the klezmer group and a mariachi group?
Joe asked if we have scheduled the klezmer group and the mariachi group to come back to the Breakers. For both of those, not right now, I have not rescheduled them. We had the klezmer group here in December around Hanukkah, and then we've had the mariachi group. We had them the last 4th of July. We are planning another 4th of July celebration this year, and I do have a different style of band booked for the 4th of July. It is not the same mariachi band, and just around Cinco de Mayo, you know, I started looking in January, December/January for Cinco de Mayo, and everybody already booked up for around Cinco de Mayo. But so we will try to get those styles of music back in soon. Okay, anything else? Laverne.
Just wanna thank you and Shantae for the fabulous jobs you always do.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all very much.
I just wanted to give you an update on a big topic, which is the elevator. I don't want to give you all the details. It's not that exciting, and we worked hard, invested everything we could, resources. It took a little bit, and it's up and running. Coincidentally, the repairs were completed yesterday. The inspector also came out, and we got cleared for our elevator certificates. So those are on the way. You'll see, it's called a conditional again, and then they send the original ones in the mail. So the elevators, certificates are on the way. The elevators are up and running right now. I've been emailing back and forth with Clarice and some other folks. I don't even know who else is on there. We are trying to get some folks together to talk about what have they come up with and where are they with options for making the elevators more efficient, or what are our options going forward as far as looking at the systems that operate the elevators. So I've been emailing back and forth with Clarice, and I emailed them again today. I can't promise, I don't know when it'll happen, but I definitely won't forget, and I'm gonna continue to request a moment of their time, just so we can all sit down with you guys. I know I've talked to them a lot, but so you can hear what they're talking about. So that's where we are with the elevators. The other one are community upgrades. I don't even know what's coming first or second or third, because some of the projects are in the phases of planning, some of the projects are not paid for, some are paid for. You keep hearing about them, but you've seen some, the dining room ceiling tile, LED lights, you're gonna see that throughout. If you walk into the building, you look straight up, it's kind of like, I don't know, probably a 20 by 30 space of tile. It's pretty rusty, it's done. So we have to kind of prioritize sometimes what needs to happen sooner, what can be put on the back burner due to necessary work or involvement of contractors. So you're gonna continue to see that work. We'll minimize the disruption to the residents and to the program department as much as possible, but we'll definitely be communicating dates, timeframes, when all that will occur. Mask. This is a big topic right now. I don't know how much to share, but I'll share this. We're this close to making mask optional, just so you know. I know there's no way to please everyone in this room. There's no way. I can't win either way. If we take them off, you're gonna upset someone. If you mandate them, you upset the other person. So we are at a point now where even our senior lifestyle, senior suites communities are no longer wearing masks. You don't have to wear them at Mariano's or when you walk out this door. And we're getting a lot of requests from outsiders, family members, even your guests, and people that come in here to provide you guys with service. It's very confusing, I know. I'm in the same boat. I carry them in my pocket, in my car, because I don't know where I'm going, what they're gonna ask for. I don't know anymore. However, we are coming close to making masks optional. So just be prepared, be aware, and that's where we're headed in the near future as a community, okay? Yes, ma'am.
How about the library? What's going on in the library? You know,
The question is, what's going on in the library? The library is part of the remodeling for this entire floor, second and third floor. The library will have a few things done. One is the lighting. It needs some improvement. The bookcases need to all match. They can't be a hodgepodge of different heights, different colors, what was donated. They're all gonna be wood bookcases that match. And we started with the first desk that was there when you walked in that had the laminate peeling off of it. but there are other tables that have the moth laminate. There'll be new library tables, so it's pretty much the entire thing, starting from the ceiling down. You look at the ceiling, the lighting, the bookcases to match. You of course have to paint the room now, and you get down to the furniture and the tables, which will all kind of match and hopefully not be in disrepair. So that's kind of what's going on. That's all part of the same project. It's all the same people working on all of these. When we plan the work, we will communicate what's going on when and how we're gonna tackle it one piece at a time. We don't wanna, I guess you can say, make the whole floor unavailable at one time. We have to work with Molly and see how we can work around this. So it'll probably be one space at a time. Yes, ma'am?
I just wanna ask one question with regards to the library. When, for the past 2 months, nothing has happened there. We've tried very hard to get everything off that wall. There were 4 bookcases there, now there's nothing there. So there is no furniture or anything in the way of possible.
Her question is, when will the library be done? The library will get done when it gets coordinated with all this other work. Again, we've had, if you guys live here, you know what's going on between the water repairs we had to make. We just finished the elevator. This is only 30 days. We don't talk like every 6 months. We talk every couple of weeks. So from that time to this time, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. All that pulls time, money, resources in different directions. You're trying to, you know the old line, rob Peter to pay Paul, and figure out priority, what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Well, we're doing that every day, just on a bigger scale. It will get done. The plans are there. We're actually working with the design team, and Kristen's excited to get some design boards so you can get an idea of what it'll be like. But it's definitely not tied to a specific date or time frame. All these projects are being coordinated at the same time. The next thing I have on here is recruitment. They touched on it. Things are starting to shift. We're seeing it in the availability of the workforce a little bit. People are starting to get back into the workplace, resurface again. So a combination of factors, as well as some other things these guys have done, have put us in a position where we've been able to recruit. Housekeeping, Jeanette came on board. You have dining room, about 8 or 9 people there. We're looking for some other positions. So recruitment is starting to happen, and I think people are starting to get back into the workplace. So fortunately for us, it's benefiting us mostly in the dining room. That's where we have the most turnover. That's where we have the most individuals that service the dining room. The last thing on here is summer events. They covered them. I'm just excited to get out there and play basketball. Or we also, Sterling stopped me this morning and asked me about the bocce ball court. I still have the drawings and the plans for that. We want to build one. So with the summer come a lot of other things. We can get outside, we can have barbecues, we can have outdoor events. It's just different. It changes the dynamic of the community. We can get outside a little bit, not be so cooped up, get some fresh air. Hopefully you partake in the walking club and the other activities that entail going outside. It's exercise, and there are other facets of it that are very beneficial. So I look forward to that. I'm gonna open it up for questions. Anything I can answer, I can give you some clarity on real quick. On that, oh, man, I was this close. Yes, ma'am.
I'll go for it. Where's the horse?
The horse is downstairs. Wow. I was hoping you'd forget. No, actually, the horse is downstairs. The weather hasn't been nice enough. It has to reach and stay consistently above 70 degrees so we can polyurethane it. We're gonna treat the horse. It was starting to chip, the paint that they painted with. So we're gonna use, it's the same stuff you put on hardwood floors. We're gonna treat the horse like 3 times and protect it all before we put it out, because it was starting to weather, it was starting to chip and get ruined. And where it was in the mailroom wasn't a very good spot. So we're gonna light it up and we're gonna put it back out once we refinish it. So we haven't, disposed of the horse. It's still here. On that note, wish you the best rest of your day. Be safe and take care of yourselves.